Good morning, happy Monday, and welcome back to the 7 guidelines for great relationships. Today we're going to talk about number 5, support your partner's goals. Um, you know, Supporting our partner's goals is important without surrendering our own goals and beliefs. As well as you want to support as far as you can go, even when you disagree. So let's talk about this for a little bit. Um, Even when we're in a committed relationship, we're still individual people with individual desires and thoughts and goals. And it's important to be able to pursue our own goal while we're still supporting our partner's goals. It's so easy to get caught up in supporting our partner's goals that we forget to still look for our own goals. Oftentimes, couples get very much into that, oh, I'm only supporting their goals, and they forget all about their own. And that's not a healthy balance. You need to still have your own goals while you're supporting your partner's goals. Now, of course, there's limitations to that. If your partner's goals are in some large criminal enterprise, you may not necessarily want to support their goal to be the next mafia dom, but maybe look at what's behind that. Is what behind it that they want to make a good living for the family, and maybe you can help steer them into a direction of being able to make money to support the family without risking going to jail. That might still be a good way of supporting their goals, but not necessarily supporting the negative part. Um, and while we all have our own goals, we also have goals in a relationship as a couple. And oftentimes at the very beginning of a relationship, we talk about our goals. We talk about what do we want to do as we get older, where do we want to be in 5 years and 10 years. And then we get into the day-to-day life of a relationship, and we forget to keep talking about that. We're too busy talking about the day-to-day stuff, and who's going to take the kids to soccer practice, and who's going to do this, and who's planning the vacation, and we get so caught up in that we forget to talk about those 5 and 10-year goals. And if you've been together with your partner for 10, 15, 20, 30 years, you're each may still be thinking about them individually, but if you're not sharing them anymore, which people often forget to do, you two may no longer be on the same path. And that often happens to couples, is that they go along and they find that 20 years down the road, they're no longer on the same path. And what one wants and what the other wants is very, very different, because they haven't kept checking in with each other about where do we want to be in 5 years? Where do we want to be in 10 years? Where do we want to be when we eventually stop working full time and want to retire? Because if one of you's idea of retirement is getting an RV and driving around the country, and the other is going and building schools in Peru or someplace, you're going to be at a huge conflict when you get to that point. So it's a good idea to keep checking in from time to time. As it relates to open relationships, it's a very good idea to keep talking about your goals as your relationship expands, because open relationships are not necessarily just a destination you get to. They are a journey, and that journey evolves over time. And if the two of you are not continuing to talk about where this journey is going and where each of you are at, you may run into some stumbling blocks. Many people get into it. Maybe they start off more in the swinging lifestyle, and then one or the other starts deciding that they really prefer more polyamory. And so those are goals that you need to talk about, and how is that evolving, and how is that evolving for both of you together. So this is a good piece that also fits into thinking about how is your open relationship going to continue to evolve. You want to keep talking about the goals of the relationship. What are each of you needing? What are each of you wanting? So that is all with goals for today. Tomorrow we're going to talk about number 6, which is give your partner the right to be wrong. And until then, if you haven't already, please go ahead and sign up for the private Facebook group, A Successful Transition from Monogamy to Open. And I will see you all tomorrow. Thanks so much for joining me. Bye.